Welcome to Amazing Islam, Volume 9, Ramadan Edition March 2026. This volume was written on the 25th night of Ramadan, potential Laylatul Qadr, the night of power. The sun was dim and peaceful, hopefully because the angels flooded the skies and obscured the sun. There was peace in the depths of my heart, and there was insightful inspiration in my soul. This ninth edition of Amazing Islam will focus on AIR, what I call the Artificial Intelligence Revolution. Everyone is afraid that AI will take over and humans will be enslaved by AI, literally and figuratively, that humans will lose their jobs, or at the very least that humans will stop using their minds and become, for lack of a better word, mindless. So how do we counter these fears? How do we reassure ourselves that the AI revolution, like other revolutions in the past, for example, the Industrial Revolution, is merely supportive and will enhance and uplift humanity and not replace or supersede humans? Perhaps, most importantly, how do we make AI a tool for our betterment, rather than using AI in a way that stunts our intellectual growth and strength? I happened to be reading the letters of Imam Ghazali and was also contemplating the issues to AI above, and amazingly, I was able to draw some parallels and achieve some closure regarding my AI dilemmas. Imam Ghazali, in the letter I am currently reading, which is actually not in continuity with the previous volumes of Amazing Islam, explains that humans have variable strengths, with some who have very strong abilities to understand and apply, and with others who have to work much harder to achieve even a small proportion of the former. Prophets, for example, receive revelation with ease, whereas the common man must exert great effort to receive inspiration. However, with knowledge comes responsibility. Prophets, for example, are tested with very difficult and severe trials and tribulations. The common man, even with minor afflictions, becomes frustrated and ungrateful. How can we relate that to AI? AI brings a wealth of information to our fingertips. AI can correct our errors, improve our creative compositions, provide us with abundant and relevant information regarding our queries, and many other things. So AI also increases our responsibility. Humans can let AI weaken their skills and their minds if humans do not take charge and accept responsibility. The more access we have to AI resources, the more responsibility humans must take on. Humans must reach higher, achieve greater things, and not settle for mediocrity. Perform more meaningful research, write more powerful essays, and improve our health, our communal resources, whether it's transportation, roads, educational institutions, etc., and reach for innovation in diagnostics, space travel, understanding of quantum physics, and many other things. AI may bring us ease, but it brings with it awesome responsibility, not a reason to slack off or stop using our minds. AI can make us or break us. It's up to us. The second thing Imam Ghazali says is that knowledge is of two types: innate versus acquired, or internal versus external. The analogy is between the ability to see and sunlight. If the eye is blind, it cannot benefit from sunlight. And without sunlight, vision is of no use because one cannot see in the dark. The mind is like the eye, and sunlight is like piousness. One can use the mind to get closer to paradise only in the context of piety. If you are not pious, the mind cannot help you acquire paradise. Without the mind, piety can only make you a mediocre Muslim. Similarly, AI is like sunshine, and the mind is like the eye. If you use your mind, AI can help you achieve great things and reach for unprecedented heights. If AI is present, but the mind is absent, human decline is inevitable. The end result is in our hands. Let AI lead to human decline, or use AI to reach the highest summits of success. The AI revolution is AIR. Will it be hot air or a hot air balloon? Will it be our destruction, or will we reach higher and higher? Revolutions are not new, and history repeats itself. The Industrial Revolution brought with it fears and the potential for harm, but humanity not only survived it, but it became all the more productive and successful because of it. Let us learn from the past, and let us use Islam to make us amazing. Let us read excerpts from the letter by Imam Ghazali to one of his knowledge seekers. Remember that the mind has superiority and precedence only because it is a tool of knowledge and wisdom. But the human soul is a mine and a fountain within which wisdom resides like an essential source of strength without rational implementation, like fire inside a stone, water in the earth, a date inside the seed. To remove it requires action. To remove water from the earth, one has to dig a well. But just like one cannot acquire the water without due diligence, and sometimes it takes intense effort and hardship to acquire the water, and sometimes access to water happens with very little work, knowledge of people is somewhat similar. For some people, knowledge becomes accessible without deferentially learning from another person. For example, prophets, peace be upon them, who receive inspiration of knowledge from a higher dimension without assistance from other humans. And then there are the common persons who have to search the entire earth and the world and have to rack their brains in order to acquire knowledge, especially some elderly persons whose minds are slow and dull and whose lives have passed in neglect, ignorance, and oblivion, and who have not sought instruction by a teacher from their youth. Then there are some people who have to toil a little to acquire knowledge, like smart and sharp kids. Intelligence is of two kinds, innate and acquired. The former strength is always prepared to accept knowledge. Its nature is like the date inside the seed. Acquired knowledge is born from benefit derived from the sciences, and its nature is such that it's subtle. For example, a person, after being mannerly, does not remember when he did not have knowledge of manners. Certainly, this type of knowledge can become conscious, as in education. Hazrat Ali, may Allah have mercy, has eloquently divided intelligence into two kinds. My opinion is that knowledge is of two types, printed and audible. Audible knowledge, if not printed, is useless, just like sunshine cannot benefit the blind eye. First thing is that Allah the Exalted has said that His most reverend creation is the mind. The second command comes from the Prophet's message that one can use the mind to attain proximity to paradise only in the context of pious implementation. The first variety is analogous to visual acuity in the body. The second variety is exemplified by the sunlight, meaning that if the visual acuity is absent, then it cannot profit from light, and without light, vision is of no use. In this same way, the vision of the inner is achieved by the eye of the exterior, because the soul is horse riding, and the body is the horse. The blind horse rider is worse than a blind horse. Allah, in comparing the internal eye to the external eye, has said, "What the heart sees is not false." And He has also said, "We showed Ibrahim, peace be upon him, the angels, the heavens. and the earth, that which is unlike this, was created blind. And he said, the eyes do not become blind, rather the hearts in the chest lose their light. We will continue this letter in the next volume of Amazing Islam. See you next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon you.